The dolphin is one of the most recognizable animals on Earth. We are used to seeing it as a symbol of intelligence, freedom, and kindness. It seems almost like the perfect creature of the ocean. Fast, beautiful, social, almost human. But the more scientists learn about dolphins, the clearer one thing becomes. This is not just a charming marine animal. A dolphin is an extremely complex biological organism that combines intelligence, precision navigation, endurance, social structure, and even darker sides of behavior. It lives in a world where breathing cannot be automatic, where vision is often useless, where survival depends on speed, sound, and constant control over the body. That is why dolphins are far more extraordinary than they appear at first glance. Today, we will explore why a dolphin is not a fish, how its natural survival suit works, how it sees with sound, why it never truly sleeps, and what hides behind the image of the ocean's friendliest creature. There is one reason people are so easily charmed by dolphins: their face. They seem to be smiling all the time, as if they are happy to see us, as if they are always joyful. But this is one of the greatest illusions surrounding dolphins. A dolphin's smile is not an expression of happiness. It is the shape of its jaw and skull. It does not change with emotion. A dolphin appears to smile when it plays, when it is stressed, when it is sick, and even when it is dying. For decades, this permanent smile prevented people from seeing dolphins for what they really are, not fairy tale ocean friends, but complex and highly unusual creatures. Behind that expression lies a powerful brain, a strict social system, advanced communication, and a body built for life in a completely different world. At first glance, a dolphin really does look like a fish. It has a streamlined body, fins, a tail. It lives underwater and moves with incredible speed. But biologically, a dolphin is the exact opposite of a fish. It is a mammal. It breathes air. It gives birth to live young. It feeds them milk. And it maintains a constant body temperature. Most fish depend on the temperature of the water around them. A dolphin does not. Its body temperature is roughly the same as a human's, about 36 to 37 degrees Celsius. And that makes life in the ocean far more difficult than it seems, because water removes heat from the body much faster than air does, especially cold seawater. So a dolphin must constantly preserve heat inside its body, despite spending its entire life in a vast, cold environment. There are other signs of its mammalian nature. If we look at how it moves, the difference becomes even clearer. Fish move their tails from side to side. Dolphins move theirs up and down. That is how the spines of land mammals work. In biomechanical terms, a dolphin is not simply swimming. It is almost running through the water. And if we look inside the flipper, we find something even more remarkable. Inside is a structure very similar to a human limb: upper arm, forearm, wrist, and 5 fingers. So this is not a marine fish at all, but the descendant of ancient land mammals that returned to the water and adapted so successfully that it now looks perfectly made for the ocean. But if a dolphin is a warm-blooded mammal living in cold water, one major question appears: how does it keep its body warm? The answer lies directly beneath the skin. There is a thick layer of fat called blubber. This is the dolphin's natural survival suit. Blubber traps heat inside the body and prevents cold seawater from rapidly cooling the internal organs. But its role does not end there. It also helps with buoyancy, absorbs impacts, protects the body during collisions, and even affects hydrodynamics. The fins, meanwhile, act like natural radiators. After intense hunting, if the body overheats, blood is directed toward the fins, allowing excess heat to escape. If the water is too cold, blood flow in those areas decreases, and heat is preserved in the core of the body. So beneath the dolphin's smooth venust lies a highly precise thermoregulation system. Without it, a warm-blooded creature simply could not survive in the ocean. But blubber alone cannot explain the dolphin's most astonishing feature: its speed. A dolphin can accelerate to around 60 kilometers per hour. For dense water, that is remarkable.
For a long time, scientists could not understand how this was possible. According to calculations, dolphin muscles did not seem powerful enough. This mystery became known as Gray's paradox. The answer was hidden in the skin. Dolphin skin is not rigid. It is soft, elastic, and highly dynamic. During fast movement, microscopic folds appear on the surface. These folds reduce turbulence. In other words, they help prevent water from creating extra resistance. The effect is extraordinary. The dolphin does not simply force its way through water. It allows water to flow around the body as smoothly as possible. Nature gave it a living, streamlined suit that adapts to speed. There is another surprising detail. The outer layer of dolphin skin renews itself very quickly, roughly every 2 hours. For comparison, in humans, this process takes weeks. Because of that, parasites, algae, and dirt have little chance to remain attached. In a sense, the dolphin is always moving inside a perfectly clean and constantly renewed outer layer.
But speed and a perfectly adapted body solve only part of the problem. Underwater, there is another challenge: visibility. Light disappears quickly with depth. Water is often cloudy. Sand rises from the bottom. And in many conditions, eyes become almost useless. Here, nature gave dolphins another extraordinary tool: echolocation. A dolphin produces rapid series of clicks. These sounds pass through a special fatty structure in the forehead called the melon. The melon works like an acoustic lens. It gathers sound and projects it forward in a narrow beam. That sound beam travels through the water, hits objects, and returns as an echo. But the most remarkable part is how the dolphin receives that signal. Not through outer ears like a human, but through the lower jaw. The jaw contains special fatty tissue that transfers vibrations directly to the inner ear. The dolphin's brain then almost instantly converts those returning signals into a three-dimensional picture of the surrounding world. This means the dolphin can detect much more than the mere presence of an object. It can distinguish shape, size, distance, density, speed of movement, and according to some studies, even internal body structures. Sound waves reflect differently from soft tissue, bone, and air-filled spaces. So for a dolphin, echolocation is not just a way of hearing, it is a way of seeing the world when ordinary vision no longer works. That is why dolphins can hunt confidently in murky water, navigate in darkness, and identify objects with a precision that still fascinates engineers today. Sometimes echolocation is used not only to find prey, but to disorient it. A strong acoustic pulse can confuse fish and turn them into easy targets. In effect, nature created in dolphins a biological sonar whose sophistication remains one of the greatest wonders in the animal kingdom. But there is a darker side to dolphin life. For humans, breathing is a reflex. We breathe automatically, in sleep, in unconsciousness, without thinking about it at all. For a dolphin, everything is different. Every breath is a conscious act. It must rise to the surface and choose to inhale. If it loses consciousness, it simply stops breathing. That is why nature faced an almost impossible challenge. How do you give such an animal sleep without killing it? The solution was brilliant. A dolphin never falls fully asleep. It shuts down only one hemisphere of the brain at a time. Meanwhile, the other remains active. It controls breathing, monitors the environment, and makes sure the dolphin returns to the surface for air. After a few hours, the hemispheres switch roles. One rests while the other stays awake. That is why a dolphin often keeps one eye open while sleeping. This state is called unihemispheric sleep. In essence, a dolphin never enters full sleep the way humans do. A total shutdown of consciousness would be deadly. So throughout its entire life, the dolphin exists in a state of partial alertness, even at night, even while resting, even when the ocean seems calm.
The dolphin's brain is especially impressive. It is large and highly folded. In many species, the areas responsible for emotion, learning, and social bonding are strongly developed. One important sign of advanced cognition is mirror self-recognition. Most animals treat reflections as another creature, but dolphins pass this test. They examine themselves and try to inspect marks placed on their own bodies. This suggests a form of self-awareness. Their communication is just as remarkable. Each dolphin has its own unique whistle. Scientists believe it functions like a name. Other dolphins can repeat that whistle, almost as if calling the individual directly. This is no longer just instinctive sound. It is a complex communication system approaching what we call language. But high intelligence does not make an animal kind. It makes it complex. And this is where the image of the always friendly dolphin begins to change. In the wild, dolphins are active predators. They can show aggression beyond feeding behavior. There are strong conflicts within their social groups. Males of some species form alliances and forcibly control access to females. Cases of infanticide have been documented. There is also evidence of attacks on porpoises without a feeding motive. This shows that dolphin society is highly structured and competitive, a world of alliances, hierarchy, and status struggles. And in some ways, it can feel surprisingly similar to human society.
If dolphins are often called the most intelligent inhabitants of the sea, then this family has a true giant of its own, the orca. Many people still mistakenly think it is a whale, but biology, the orca is also a dolphin. In fact, the largest dolphin on Earth, and one of the most dangerous predators in the ocean. Orcas stand at the top of the food chain. Even large sharks often avoid confronting them. But what makes orcas extraordinary is not only strength, it is culture. In different regions of the world, different orca groups use different hunting techniques. Some teach the young to beach themselves in order to catch seals. Others create waves to wash prey off ice floes. And these strategies are passed from generation to generation. That means orcas do not simply have behavior, they have traditions. Older females play a special role. They become the memory holders of the pod. They remember routes, seasonal hunting grounds, dangers, and survival strategies. This is no longer just animal life. It is a complex society in which knowledge matters as much as power. After all this, it becomes impossible to look at dolphins in the same way. They are not just charming ocean animals, not just smiling creatures. They are warm-blooded marine mammals with a natural survival suit, a living acoustic vision system, a brain that never fully shuts down, a complex society, and an intelligence that still remains mysterious. And that is exactly why it feels so strange to see such beings confined to small pools. An animal built for distance, layered soundscapes, and free movement across the ocean can never truly reveal itself inside concrete walls. The real dolphin is not in the show, not in the trained jump, not in the artificial smile for the audience. Its true place is the open sea, where it can be fast, free, wild, and fully alive.